Somewhere in your life, there's a situation that's beginning to feel a bit too constrained. But if you examine the situation a little more closely, you may actually find that it's you who is creating the very level of constraint that you're complaining about. Now, how is that happening? Well, one part of you, within the midst of all this craziness that you're dealing with, is feeling compelled to try to hold that very same craziness together. But that craziness that's happening is happening because there's something that definitely needs to shift, but you're trying to keep that thing, or rather, I should say, one small aspect of that thing from shifting. Because there's a part of the bigger picture that you'd very much like to see change. But within that bigger picture, there's a smaller picture which you're very much trying to hold together. In trying to hold that little bit together, you're keeping the bigger thing from being able to happen. And the more you try to keep this little thing together, the more that little thing is going to fall apart because the situation's becoming way too complicated to deal with in such a minute way, but yet you're still trying to hold it together in a way that's just not really working. And as you go through this process, you're finding yourself most likely, kind of doing a patch-up job here and there in order to hold things together. And the more you keep doing those patch-up jobs, the more raggedy the situation becomes. Now, what area of your life might this relate to? That's going to be different for each person dependent upon where Ketu is transiting in your horoscope. If you want more information on that, you can schedule an astrological service through my link above, and as well, all the links to the rest of my pages, including the online school, are below in the text. But, in the midst of this all, you're finding little breaks in the drama. When those little breaks in the drama happen, you find yourself wishing that you could just find a space of retreat in order to get away from all this, crap that you're dealing with, right? Your needs aren't being met, yet you feel a need to keep your strength about you for the journey forward. But in order to keep that strength, you're further suppressing your needs, right? And as you continue to suppress those needs, you begin to feel within yourself like you're not 100% behind the situation that you were trying to place yourself behind in the first place. And you're beginning to think that approaching this from a different manner may make a lot more sense. And you know what you need to do right now? You need to, at the very least, consider this. You don't actually have to take that action and go 180 degrees in the opposite direction. As a matter of fact, somewhere in the middle is likely where you're being called upon to try to, dwell within the pendulum swing of this way, that way, drama. Well, if you want the midway point between the drama, you've got to find that balance somewhere in the middle. And that balance somewhere in the middle requires for you to take a look at the fact that you may be asserting yourself for all the wrong reasons. You're trying to maintain a level of control over an external situation. You're trying to create stability in some area of your life in an external manner. And you got it all backwards because you need to have a stronger foundation inside of yourself. You need to have a stronger level of internal security. You need to have a stronger and more solid internal foundation before you're going to be able to build that very same level that you're trying to build of external stability. So you've got to get the mix absolutely positively correct. And you're not going to do it from going from one extreme, let's talk about that first extreme, which is trying to hold something together that very much is, kind of trying to fall apart. And you're not going to accomplish it in the other manner by going so far in the other direction where you're just focusing on your own needs that you're like losing sight of the external stability, both for yourself and other people, that also needs to be maintained. So what you need to find is that midway point. And as Ketu transits Purva Ashadha Nakshatra, starting on the 13th of September 2019, and will continue doing so through the 28th of March 2020, there's no use pretending that there's a weak foundation that you're trying to build a situation upon. You need to take a look at that foundation, and you need to rework the situation in a manner that's actually going to work. And the way that it's going to work is not by trying to control it outside, and it's also not going to work by trying to pretend that things can stay in precisely the same state that they used to be in before. A change is at hand, and you need to cooperate with the changes. The best way you can do so is by being honest with yourself. That's going to do it for this look at Ketu's transit through Purva Ashadha Nakshatra. Until next time, please do take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.